popular opinion on evolution is changing among Republicans, and when you really look at the specific numbers, it's kind of shocking, but for anyone who's been paying very close attention to the Republican Party, it's not that shocking. So the belief in evolution is experiencing a decline among Republicans, and recently Pew Research did a study on this to see what the specific numbers are. Now, they asked the respondents in the study the following questions: humans and other living things have evolved over time, or humans and other living things have existed in their present form since the beginning of time. Of course, they use these questions to gauge whether or not these participants believed in evolution. Well, let's look at the numbers with Democrats versus Republicans. They found that 67% of Democrats believed in the theory of evolution. Only 43% of Republicans believe the same. Now, there is a huge gap there, obviously, and I want to show you how that gap has widened over the years. So in 2013, you see a 24-point gap. 2009, it was only 10 points. In 2005, it was 13 points. So there was a little bit of an improvement in 2009, and then all of a sudden in 2013, Republicans are like, nah, we're going to reject the science. We do not believe in evolution. Discuss.
Well, part of the problem is that they have Republicans like Senator Brown from Georgia, who calls evolution and global warming lies from the pit of hell. So when they have leadership like that, it's no wonder that belief in evolution goes down. And let me just say something about evolution for a second. As a rational human being and as a person who believes in science, I find this lack of belief in evolution in American culture and society just shocking, appalling, disappointing, and unbelievable all around. In fact, I have a litmus test. If I meet someone and they say something along the lines of, I don't believe in evolution, done. I don't want to ever speak to that person ever again, because I don't have time to waste with a person who just doesn't believe in the rational world. I mean, that's literally saying something akin to, I don't believe in gravity. I think we are living on a flat surface and there's no gravity and we're just walking. The person just has no rational connection to reality.
I don't know if it's a lack of rationality or if it's more about being ignorant. I'm going to keep it real. Because, look, the theory of gravity, or the idea of gravity, is a simple one to grasp, right? But I think for a lot of people, if you're not educated on evolution, you don't really understand it. And if you don't really understand it, you're more likely to reject it, right? Because evolution is not a simple thing to comprehend. You have to sit down and really understand how it works.
Right, gravity, you can knock a rock off the table and go, see, gravity. Yeah. Evolution, it's a little more difficult. What I think is bizarre here is that people have such a way of keeping religion and rationality so separate. I don't even see why can't you believe that God created the earth in 6 days and rested on the seventh, and not necessarily believe that those are our 24-hour days, but that it's an allegory perhaps for evolution. There are plenty of scientists, not every scientist is an atheist or an agnostic, there are plenty of scientists that believe in both.
Yes. I'm glad that you pointed that out, not to cut you off, because the study did address that as well, and I wanted to give you guys the numbers on that. So of those who believed in evolution, about a quarter of them said they also believed it was caused by a creator, meaning they believed a supreme being set the wheels of evolution in motion at some point in the past.
Yeah, so why couldn't that be, why wouldn't God set up evolution? Why is it, it doesn't, I mean, he set up everything else to happen. He set up for volcanoes to explode and that to build up the earth and islands and stuff. Why wouldn't he set up this to help? So that's the whole thing. It's ignorance squared. It's ignorance upon ignorance. So it's like even their own stupid theory still could make room for science. Yet they decide to, because it's too hard for their stupid little brains, Anna. That's why.
I sort of pity it in a way. I pity that line of thinking of where it has to be so literal that Eve was from Adam's rib, that literally happened, as opposed to.
What's interesting too is that there are a lot of religious people who believe in evolution for other creatures except for humans, because we didn't evolve. We are made in God's image, therefore we are exactly the way we were meant to be. Which, here's a problem. I mean, that logic is so flawed and so patently flawed. How about the cavemen? Neanderthals, they're clearly evidence of people like that. How do they fit into this convenient, neat little story that you have about creationism? It doesn't. And going back to the theory of gravity versus evolution, most scientists would say that the theory of evolution has more rigorous underpinnings and is more proven than even the theory of gravity. Gravity, we all get that if you drop something, it falls to the center, and that gravitational forces, bind us all together. But it's actually very complicated. For example, when the moon orbits around the Earth, the period of revolution is the same as the period of rotation. So you only see one side of the moon the whole way around. That is all due to gravity, because over time, I forget exactly how it works, but it does that on purpose, so that, well, not on purpose, but it happens, and people are like, oh my God, that's amazing. You can only see one side of the moon. Who done that? Only God can do that, right?
Yeah.
But that happens naturally over time when one body orbits another body over a period of time. It becomes synchronized, and there's a word, something synchronous. Yeah.
The consequences of this, Steve, is what's really important, I think. And the consequences of this kind of science rejection and poor thinking, the result is bad voting. And then the result is you don't believe in global warming, and the result is that Florida's underwater in 40 years.
Yeah, I mean, you believe that everything is in the hands of God, as opposed to, humans causing certain things in our environment. Yeah, definitely.
It makes you incredibly reckless, irresponsible, entitled.
Right, so think about it. When the people say that, gays cause hurricanes, well then you may not, which, believe me, if I was that powerful, it would be, I assure you I'm not. It would be pretty damn sweet. The whole world would be under threat of me having gay sex, so I could control everybody. But the idea...
It's really dumb of you to cause hurricanes. He should instead cause you to win the lotto or be able to dunk.
Right, well, exactly.
Yeah.
I would much prefer to dunk than to be able to control the weather.
Yeah.
But it's hugely dangerous, to your point. It's hugely dangerous to say that your actions create physical realities in the world, because then something like Miami, which we all know is going to be under the water in 40 years, you won't go ahead and make the levees and the dams that are needed to do it. Or you'll think that New Orleans will be underwater because of the people that are out there throwing beads on each other. It's crazy.
But this belief of these creationists who believe that we are made in the image of God is so dumb, and it's so obvious that we made God in the image of humans, because God is such a tyrannical diva.
He's a baby.
I mean, he gets so jealous and angry. He gets jealous of a golden calf. I mean, if you're God, are you really jealous of a golden calf? Really?
I don't know. A golden calf is pretty sweet.
Yeah, and he's like, if you love me, then I love you. If you don't like me, then I'm going to punish you. I mean,
No, God gave you free will. Love him and do exactly what he said, or burn in the lake of fire forever. What's wrong with those choices?
All right,
those are free choices.
I do want to end this story on a semi-positive note, because if you look at the U.S. population as a whole, and of course this is a representative sample that Pew Research looked at, you will see that the majority of Americans do believe in the theory of evolution. Let me give you the numbers. About 60% believe in evolution, 33% reject the idea, the rest have absolutely no idea what they think. So,
okay, so 7% of people don't know what's. Oh wait, 3%? Or is that 3%?
7. You were right the first time.
I'm not good with math.
Yeah. So Anna, thanks for bringing us up. I'm going to bring it back down now.
Oh, okay.
We are second to last in the Western industrialized world to believe in evolution. The only country that's worse than us
is Turkey.
Turkey.